I'm going to be sharing with you the exact steps that I took at 19 to change my dating life. This took me from a shy, insecure kid my entire life to being insanely confident and having tons of success with women. So if you're a guy who feels like you don't have the dating life that you want, or you have tons of untapped potential, but you don't know how to realize it, then watch this video because I'm going to be giving you the exact steps that I took that absolutely changed my dating life. For the first 19 years of my life, I struggled to get any girls, and the few that I did manage to attract, I quickly lost. So I was really confused and wondering why was I not having this success with girls, because I thought I was decently good looking, I built up a pretty good body in the gym, I was lean, I had a six pack, and I still wasn't having any sort of success. And at 19, I ended up meeting a girl who really liked me and she was pursuing me and she was the most attractive girl to ever like me. So I quickly fell head over heels in love with her. But I had tons of anxiety, insecurities throughout this relationship, things that I was just projecting onto the relationship. And she quickly lost attraction for me and broke up with me after 3 months. And this was the final straw when I knew I needed to make a change deep down in my core to who I was as a person that would allow me to have the success that I wanted. And that's exactly what I'm going to be breaking down for you in this video. So what did I do that allowed me to change once and for all and overcome years of anxiety and insecurities? So it all came down to improving in 4 key areas. Now, the first one is really obvious, but it needs to be mentioned, and this is physicality. You need to be in great shape. But it doesn't mean that you need to be a bodybuilder to attract girls. See, when I was lean and I had some muscle, that was more than enough. I didn't really need much more. You just need to be in good shape. There is no such thing as the perfect body, but this is one thing that you have to be working towards. And if you don't already have it and it's not something you're already working on, you need to start doing this. So for me, this was just a matter of consistency and continual improvement. But this is something that you need to get dialed in. You can't expect the most beautiful girls on the planet who have skinny waists, nice tits, a nice ass, they're in the gym working on their legs, to want to be with you if you're fat, lazy, and overweight. It's just not going to happen. You need to be in the best shape possible. So this is the first and most important area. And it's also going to help you with step 2, which we're going to dive into next. And now this second area is where a lot of my initial improvements came from. And this was mental. So improving mentally consisted of improving my mental health, developing a mindset that was aligned with my goals, and also just developing my mind in terms of consuming new knowledge and just applying it and trying to become the best version of myself as a whole. So let's dive into the first and most important area that really changed a lot for me very, very quickly, which was improving my mental health. So to improve my mental health, I first started with eliminating all instant gratification activities. So anything you can think of, porn, video games, smoking weed, scrolling on social media, all of it was cut out. I declared war on artificial dopamine. And at the same time, I incorporated some delayed gratification activities like meditation, gratitude journaling, reflective journaling, and reading. This was my morning routine that I would do consistently. And this allowed me to build trust in my word and start cultivating some positive momentum. Now, the next thing that I did, and this honestly happened over a longer period of time, but it started then, which was cultivating the mindset that I needed to win. And this is something that I did from reading all those different books, learning from different creators on YouTube who were further ahead than I am. It was a longer process, but this was absolutely essential. Mindset is one of the most important things that you need if you want to succeed in anything that you're going to do. And lastly, the thing that I did was starting to develop from books, mostly from books, but also from different guys online who are given content, all the different advice that I needed at that point in my life. And I really started to absorb and apply all the teachings. And this was making a huge difference for me, actually applying those things in the real world, getting positive feedback loops when something worked well. And this is where I really started to develop as a person. The third area, I didn't even realize what it was when I was doing it, but this is developing character traits, things like confidence and courage. These were so essential for my development. I can't even stress this enough. So let's break down, how did I build my confidence? Looking back on it and what I do to this day and what I do with all my coaching clients is it's a mix between internal and external. So let me break that down a little further. Internal was building trust in my word. So I gave you the examples of what I was doing to improve my mental health. That also built a lot of my confidence. Doing my morning routine every single day because I said I was going to do it. Staying away from the bad habits because I said I was going to do that. Also throwing in different things that could push my comfort zone, like cold showers. I did cold showers without fail for over 4 or 5 months in that initial phase of getting into that, and I still do them to this day. But that was one of the key things that I said I was going to do it, and I followed through. That's where internal trust in your word is built. You start to learn who you are as a man, and this builds confidence. Now, that's important, but it won't give you the full results if you don't include the external, which is interacting with the world. And this leads us on to courage. So we're not going to bake courage into here as well. And this is where courage will really build a lot of confidence by doing the things that scare you. Because for me at this point in my life, interacting with the world was really scary. To even just talk to new people, I felt really socially awkward. I struggled with it. So what I started doing was just starting to talk to as many people as possible. And then I advanced it to talking to every attractive girl I saw. And this was something that I did for a really long time. And even for months after, there would be times when I was at the beach after even having success with girls 6, 8 months later. And I was like, this is kind of scary for me. And I did it anyway. And that's where courage is developed. Courage is developed in the moments where you fear something, but you act anyway. And this is how you can level it up. So now I've been doing things like traveling alone, and these just keep increasing my courage levels because I keep doing things that scare me and overcoming them. So that builds a ton of confidence in who you are as a person, as well as just accomplishing different things, getting different accolades behind your name, and just being a guy who's trying to do something with your life. All these things combined will really develop your character and develop the courage and confidence that you need. That's going to change the way you interact with the world as a whole, which is going to make you way more attractive to girls. The fourth area was one that I needed a lot of work on, but it also yielded a ton of results, and this is skill development. So for me, I really lacked in social skills and communication. So what did I do? I started picking up books on these topics. So this was really a key area for me, was to start learning and applying, reading something and then going out into the real world and trying it out for myself, and then seeing it work, and then getting a positive feedback loop and being like, oh my God, this actually works. Before, I just said I had bad social skills and I was awkward socially, but I did nothing to improve it. So it was this process of really trying to develop through consuming new knowledge from those who are great socially. So this was huge for me. And I remember after getting into a really good state mentally after this breakup, about 3 or 4 months, I really did a lot of that internal work. I was doing some of the external work. I'd read 3 different books on social skills, nonverbal communication, and I went to Sweden for 5 weeks with the idea and goal in mind of making as many friends as possible and getting with as many girls as possible. And that's exactly what I did. Using those books, I completely transformed. And now I'm not saying I became an amazing communicator overnight, but it made massive improvements and it helped me out so much. So the confidence, the courage I developed, the communication and social skills, it all allowed me to start having that initial success and that positive upward spiral, seeing that this was all possible. And now, developing the full length of communication has taken a long, long time, years and years to get to where I am now. It came from many sales jobs, many failures in the process, starting my own sales company business later on. So it's been a long journey, but I made some great initial improvements by just reading and applying what I learned and actually doing these things in real life. So that was one of the last areas, was social skills, communication. These are all skills that you can develop. Now looking back, the reason that this works and the reason why I struggled for so long when I was younger was because I wasn't doing the things that allowed me to become attractive to girls. I was avoiding the hard work, trying to just hope that everything would fall in my lap and that a girl would love me for who I was, when there were so many areas that I needed to develop as a man to become attractive to girls. And now the good news is that you can make this transformation really quick. I started to see tons of success after just a few months of going all in and applying all the steps that I just taught you. That's how quickly things can change. And don't just take my word for it in my story. Let's look at Theo, who was one of my coaching clients. And these are his words exactly when he started the coaching program, was that he was scared to talk to just about anybody. And after 5 weeks, he was confidently cold approaching girls every single day with ease. So this transformation can be made very quickly. It's something that you need to do if you want to truly attract girls. You cannot just rely on dating apps without having done the character development and skill development and improving your mental health and getting into the best shape possible. These are all necessary steps if you truly want to attract and retain the girls of your dreams. So now if you are ready to take the next steps and become the man you want to be, go ahead and book in a call with me down below. It's going to be the first link in the description. And if you feel like you want to chat a little bit more first and see if this is the right fit for you, go ahead and send me a DM on Instagram.